Welcome to this week's Future Toolbox podcast. We explore the Z to A of life skills, where each letter stands for a topic and essential tool to help you get ahead in life. Meet Jules and Mark, creators of the multi-award-winning Future Toolbox, and enjoy their straightforward approach to creating growth mindsets that help people turn their dreams into realities. Whether you're a teen in education, a parent, a teacher, or part of a community group, start creating positive habits from today.
Hello everybody and welcome to the latest Z2A podcast with myself Mark and Jules from the multi-award winning Future Toolbox.
Hi everyone and welcome.
Now this is where of course we pick a letter and a topic and we discuss how you can use our tools for your own personal development and life, and it's the big reveal time for this month's letter.
Oh, we've gone for the letter N for new beginnings, and quite simply because it's back to school time. So It's a new beginning, brand new year, brand new curriculum, brand new everything, brand new shoes maybe, brand new uniform, school bag. Trying to think of all the things that you need when you go back to school. New pencil, new pen.
That's the exciting bit, the new stationery. I used to love getting the new stationery, but shopping for school shoes, that was the bottom of my excitement list, I think.
Oh no. Being a female, shopping for shoes is good.
But I remember those words when people are like, oh, you're going back to school next week, and you had those fears of dread because you're thinking, oh no, the summer holidays are over and I can't do all the things I want to do and I've got to go back to learning. And then when you actually got back and saw all your friends, it was actually quite exciting, wasn't it?
Always. But most of the time you caught up with a lot of your friends through the summer holidays. But it's exciting to see the ones that you didn't. Also, when you go back, your classmates are different because you've gone on a year and it's not always the same people in there. So you've got new people to maybe meet. And there may be people that have moved over and it's their new start in a brand new school. So you could be meeting some new people.
Yeah.
It's all about new.
Yeah, that's true. And new teachers as well. New
Yeah.
teachers. You might have a new form tutor or a new subject teacher as well. So, yeah, lots of new things there. So new is always exciting, but it's also sometimes a little bit scary, a little bit nerve-wracking. Yeah, and what we're going to do is have a little look at September's theme days, because there's loads of them coming up and they all tie in really nicely with some of the new habits that you can create going back into education or after the summer, maybe back to work, all this sort of stuff. And it could be simple habits like just being on time where maybe you were a little bit late before, or asking more questions, maybe using a new revision tool, or even at home being slightly tidier, organising your study area, or a self-care routine, something like that.
I think a good thing to try and get back into, that's something that will have changed for a lot of teenagers and for a lot of parents, is your sleep routine, because your routine has changed. Whereas the middle of July, when you're still at school, you're up early and rushing around getting breakfast, making sure your bag's packed and all the rest of it, and getting to school on time. Through the summer holidays, that becomes slightly more relaxed. I do appreciate, obviously, parents or carers, whatever, you may have to still have the routine of going to work, but hopefully you will have had chance to have had a few weeks off. It's getting back into that habit, or even maybe creating a new habit because things might have changed, or it might be a new habit that you need to do about getting the regular sleep and getting up on time so that you can be where you need to be. You say, on time. That's something that really does annoy me, people being late. And I know sometimes there are mitigating circumstances why you are late. I totally get that. But if you're late because you didn't get up in time, or you're just late.
You couldn't be bothered.
Because you're faff.
Yeah, so the first theme day to touch on is on the 6th of September and the 8th of September as well. There's actually two theme days which link together very nicely. There's National Read a Book Day and International Literacy Day. Now, being authors, we love reading, and we're going to promote the benefits of reading to anybody. It can be anything from reducing stress to expanding your mind and your vocabulary, and also your ability to learn the language that you're speaking or that you're reading in.
Absolutely. One of the greatest things I find about reading a book, particularly if it's a fiction book and it's a story, is it enhances your own personal, best way to describe it is your own creativity and certainly your imagination. And I think that's something, even from a very young age, when you're reading a book, you are told what these characters or whatever look like and how they behave, but you create that image in your mind, and that will be completely different to what somebody else does. And I love reading a book that's got a story, and you've got people, and there's all sorts of places that they go to, and you visualize it and put your own creativity onto what the author has given you. I think it's fantastic. Reading is amazing.
Yeah, when you read a book and then you watch a film and you see it completely different when you see the film.
Yeah.
And if you do it the other way around and you watch the film and then read the book, you sometimes then have a preconception of what the book looks like, don't you? So I love the fact of what you're saying. Read the book and use your imagination. And even if it's a true life book as well, you can still imagine what that person who's writing about whatever they're writing about is going through. So, yeah, imagination, fantastic.
Do you know, I've never done it that way around, where I've seen the film and then read the book. I can't remember an occasion of doing that. If anything, I will have read the book and then seen the film. And although the film, the director, the people, they've put their spin on it, it never, ever, ever quite matches up to what I'd imagined it to be like in my own mind, which is strange, isn't it? Maybe that's my next thing I need to create and be a film director.
Yeah, that's really good. Go on, go for that.
No.
Go for that. We can make lots of money.
One of the other great things about reading a book is, we were just talking about sleep. It can improve your sleep by reading a book before going to bed.
That is very, very true. Yeah, obviously don't read something that's really, really scary or something that's really controversial or political or something like that, but something fictional can switch your mind off, help you improve your sleep. And that brings us nicely into the second week of September, where on the 14th it is National Quiet Day. You better be quiet. This is really key to think about, disconnecting yourself from all the noise around you. Now, you think about, a lot of people have had a long summer holiday. They've gone away, they've relaxed, they've switched off. And then what do you do as soon as you get back into it? You go mad, you go back at 100 mile an hour again, and you forget that relaxation time that you've had. So what I'd like to say to people on National Quiet Day is to think about how you can relax and recharge your batteries, and maybe practice some mindfulness every day.
A way of relaxing and recharging your batteries: read a book. Sorry, just had to say that. But yeah, what a lovely thought that you consciously are going to be quiet that day. You're going to quieten your mind, and you're going to take time just to sit, relax, be in the moment, and just literally take on board what it is that you can see around you and what other people are doing, and just be in nature or something.
Now, the great thing about national days is you have a day where you recognise this. The hardest thing about them is you think, oh, I'll just do that today and that's it. This is all linking back into habits. And National Read a Book Day, you read a book on that day, carry the habit on, keep reading, keep reading. You don't have to read the whole book in one day. You could just read a few pages every day. Likewise with National Quiet Day, disconnect yourself from that noise and do that mindfulness every single day. 5 minutes a day, that's all you need to do, don't you?
Yeah, 5 or 10 minutes. Just give yourself that time and give your brain that time to switch off, especially with all the excitement, all the newness of going back to school and learning your new timetables, new subjects. You might be starting your GCSE journey, so you'll have chosen your subjects and getting ready for all of that. So your brain will be hugely stimulated by all of this. So make sure that you do every single day, give yourself a 5-10 minute shush time.
Yeah, and that's equally as important if you're going to, say, sixth form or college or even to university and starting a whole brand new chapter in your education journey. They're two quite serious ones, but also on the same week, on the 17th, is probably my favourite one. It's Talk Like a Pirate Day.
I don't know where you found this one, and I can't wait to hear you. And I think what we should do is do a little video on that day of you talking like a pirate.
Aye. Aye, my heart is.
Oh, yeah. Aye, aye, Captain.
Aye, aye, Captain. But silliness aside there, this is a time where you can think about being a little bit light-hearted and how you can make things that are maybe a little bit hard easy by making boring things fun. And we talk all the time in Smarten Your Study about making revision and study easier and fun. And if you can make something easier and fun, it helps you to engage in it. And we're joking aside, saying, oh, my heart is, and whatever the pirates say these days, back in the olden days. I'm not sure what modern day pirates say. But it can be that association. And we worked with many students over the years who have created songs, have created poems, and have created great visual images on revision and study notes that they need to remember. And by doing that, it just adds that little bit of light-hearted fun.
Yeah.
Light-hearted fun. So that's International Talk Like a Pirate Day.
You could, if you're talking like a pirate, you could watch films based on pirates, like Pirates of the Caribbean. They were always great films to watch, but I'm sure there's loads of other ones that just not springing to mind at the moment. But you could play the game Pop-Up Pirate.
Pop-Up Pirate.
Talk like pirates while you do it.
Captain Pugwash as well.
That's what I was trying to remember, yes. Yeah, we have to watch Captain Pugwash.
Yeah, let's go all retro on that. So International Talk Like a Pirate Day. I mean, if you want to do that every single day, you can. But the whole point, really, the whole message behind that one is just to find something that's fun and light-hearted every single day. Something that's just going to make you smile and make you laugh. And if you can, make somebody else laugh and smile as well. Share the fun.
I think this could be a good little thing that I used to do. I learned how to do this many, many years ago. And it really, really works, is before going to bed, or literally when you probably switch the lights out and you think, right, I'm just going to settle, quieting your mind and getting ready to go to sleep. One of the things that I do is I think of something positive that's happened that day. The reason that I do that, and it doesn't have to be anything major at all. It can be a tiny little thing. But when you're going to sleep, you're thinking of something positive, something good. And then you wake up and you've still got that positive, good thing. So as well as that, just think of something that made you laugh, something that made you smile. And even if it is somebody put on a silly accent or dressed up like a pirate, whatever. But it's a good practice to make sure that those final thoughts before you go off to sleep are happy, positive ones.
That is absolutely fantastic advice. We're going to move on to the 22nd of September now. It is UK Savings Week starting that week. Now, one thing which is massively missing from our education system is financial literacy.
Absolutely.
And everybody talks about money. The schools that we've visited over the years, the amount of students we've met that they write down on their goal setting list that they want to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
But they have no idea what a billionaire is. They see a billionaire on the TV, or they see a gangster on TV making money illegally, or they'll talk about some kind of real top business person who's made it right to the top level that earns so much money they don't know what to do with it. And they think that if they've got an unlimited pile of money, then that is going to equal happiness. Mm-hmm. But what we need to do is we need to bring it right back down to the basic level and think, okay, so what is financial literacy? Mm-hmm. And it's all about starting small. How are you going to save some money? How are you going to stop wasting money?
Yeah, that's a biggie. That is a biggie. A great way to begin to look at that is start creating a list of what you spend each day. Down to your coffee, down to your bottle of water, whatever you spend your money on, write it down. I would suggest doing this for at least 2 weeks, so you can get a gauge of what your money habits are in terms of spending. Then you can have a little look at it, and it's very obvious if you do this properly for at least a week, if not 2 weeks, you can see where your money goes and where you could save some.
Yep, that's absolutely spot on. And it's something that we've done over the years. Obviously, we're talking about adulthood money here, but I remember a few years ago, we actually sat down and looked at our outgoings. Now, we have always been careful with money. We spend money when we want to, but we don't waste money. And I remember printing out a list of all of our outgoings and thinking, right, how can we get rid of all the spends that we have and cut them down that we don't want to or don't need to spend money on? And things like a TV subscription, for instance. Is there a way that you can get that cheaper? A mobile phone deal, is there a way you can get that cheaper? These are all things that you have every single day, but maybe you don't want to spend money on. Insurances, things like that. You can do that from adult age. And as I say, if you're a teenager who's spending money down the local shop or something like that, buying a coffee or a cake or a bar of chocolate or something, do you need to spend that much money every day? Could you cut one of those out and maybe save that £1 or £2 or something like that and just put it to one side and start your little savings plan, watch it build and think, right, what can I save my money for?
Another good tip is if you're thinking of buying something, do the needs versus wants.
Oh, yes, that's a really good tip.
You know, do you want what it is you're going to buy, or do you need it? If you just want it, you don't actually need it. Is it necessary? But if it is something that's really necessary that you need to have, for example, you've had a busy day at school, you've had PE, you're walking home, you're exhausted, you're tired, you're hot, and you're very thirsty. If you're going to spend £1.50 on a bottle of water, you need it. It's not you want it. But often you'll think, oh, do you know what? I'll just go and buy a can of, I don't know, Monster or Coke or whatever. And 9 times out of 10, it's just because you fancy it. You don't need it. And it's the same with a lot of things.
It is very, very true. Could you fill that bottle of water up at school from the water fountain before you leave and get it for free?
Yeah, but have they got a bottle on them? That's the thing.
Oh, that's it.
I was assuming that they
planning.
didn't, but yeah, always have that, because if you've got a bottle with you, you can fill it up at various places, and you can go into cafes and all sorts, and you can just say, oh, would you mind filling this bottle up for him? Most of them will do that for you.
Yeah, that's a top saving tip there. But also study financial literacy. Find out what it actually means. And again, all this stuff we're talking about today, we've actually got separate podcasts on it, so you can go and search through them and find previous episodes with these tools on them.
And if you get to understand what's called the compound effect, that you do something a little bit each day or each week or each month, so if you save just a little bit, that compound effect of how you can see that building is wonderful. As Mark said, you know, you've put some money away, before you know it, you've got a nice little pot of money. You can then decide what it is that you're going to treat yourself with it, but make sure that it's something that you need, not just want. But then sometimes you do need to treat yourselves.
Absolutely. And the final day we're going to touch on this podcast episode, the 26th of September, is National Doodle Day.
Doodle Day?
Now, how many people love to doodle on a notepad, doodle on the corner of their workbook, their textbook, or whatever it may be? And we love doodling. If you go to Smarten Your Study, everything is about doodling on that.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about works of art, Mona Lisas, or anything like that. We're talking about doodling, a really simple image that is going to remind you of something.
That's actually quite spooky, because the last few weeks I've been seeing it pop up on my social media pages, people that are doodling, but it's an art form, and some of the images that they make from very, very simple doodling is absolutely phenomenal. And I've started messing around doing a few of them, but it's so relaxing. And we've talked earlier on about having a bit of that quiet time, relaxing your brain, whatever. Doodling is a great way to shut your mind down and just focus on that one thing, and just let the day and all the stresses that you've had go away while you do that. It's a brilliant thing to do.
And also it could be a really useful tool for study and revision as well. Now, we have an example we use called a summary poster, and one of our characters on it is Mr. Spoon.
Oh, he was so cute.
We love Mr. Spoon, don't we? He helps people to remember all the different facts of the properties of metals. And one of the things he's got attached to him, he's got a duck tail stuck on his back, and we've just drawn this duck's tail sticking out of his backside almost, and that helps you to remind the fact that metals are ductile. You have the sound, the similarity there, and you also have an image to help remind you. So it is just about creating something really, really simple. But again, Smarten Your Study is full of mind maps and posters and simple association images that you can doodle away to your heart's consent.
It's brilliant. Yeah, it is. It is absolutely fantastic. And you can use it, as Mark's saying, to help you to remember certain things, because your brain loves that association, and it'll think, oh yeah, Mr. Spoon, I remember that. And we haven't done it for a little while, and it's straight away, you've got it lodged in your memory.
Yeah. Remember that one forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that tied in really nicely with the Talk Like a Pirate Day, because it's about being silly and having a little bit of fun as well for something quite serious.
So there's a lot going on in September, and we really hope everybody that's gone back to school or has started college or university, maybe, you know, you've started a new job if you're a parent, but we wish you the very, very best of luck with all your new beginnings.
Yes, so create plenty of great new habits, and you can start by visiting our website, which is futuretoolbox.co.uk. There's loads of tools and tips on there. Back episodes of these podcasts, which link into a lot of what we've talked about today. There's also links to our Smarten Your Study programme, and also our books as well, which are on the shop. We're on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok.
TikTok.
We also have a YouTube channel with lots of free tools on there. And you can connect with us on LinkedIn because we are
just about everywhere.
Just about everywhere. So create those positive habits from today, and we look forward to catching you in next month's episode.
Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us for the Z2A of Life Skills with Jules and Mark of the Future Toolbox. Don't forget to head over to their website, which is futuretoolbox.co.uk, where you can find lots of free resources, plus a host of books in the store, as well as subscribing to the membership site. Follow Future Toolbox Instagram, TikTok and Facebook at Future Toolbox, and subscribe to their YouTube channel too.